Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me is Natalie Campisi, home and mortgage expert at Forbes Advisor, a trusted destination for unbiased personal finance advice, news, and reviews to discuss whether we are in a housing bubble or a blip. Natalie, it's great to see you again. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Thank you. It's great seeing you.
And it's no surprise, home prices are soaring at historical highs across the country, and inventory is tight as buyers rush to get into a home while the rates are still at low levels, and we now have more flexibility to work and learn from home. What are the experts saying? Are we entering bubble territory, or are these values appropriate for what buyers are demanding?
That's a great question, and it's on everybody's mind right now. I think seeing home prices increase at such a rapid pace, especially given the circumstances, we're in a pandemic, there are, exorbitant job losses. How is this possible? But what the experts are saying is that the fundamentals are there to support these home price increases. So because of the very low inventory that's available right now, home prices are able to increase at the pace that they're increasing, and we have this high level of buyer demand. And many of the people who wanted to buy before the pandemic are still in a position to buy, meaning they still have their jobs, they still have their high salaries. So all of those elements are in play. So experts are saying we're not in a bubble, but we might see this price appreciation slow down in the coming years.
So Natalie, would you say that sellers are in a unique position, such as in the beginning of the pandemic when you were the last person to hold that pack of toilet paper? Are they in that kind of position where they can essentially demand the prices that they're asking for?
They are definitely holding the last pack of toilet paper. Sellers are in a very, very good and unique position. Home prices have just soared, and there are so many buyers lining up to really buy almost anything. I mean, people are having to, reconfigure what they expected. You hear stories of people who wanted to buy a home that now have to buy a townhouse, and they're doing it. So sellers are really in a great position. And if you're thinking about selling your house within the next couple of years, you might really want to consider moving up that timeline, because many experts say that price appreciation is going to slow. So this could be the time to strike gold if you want to sell.
Well, I guess what the issue is, the people are getting caught up in an emotional decision that will impact the rest of their lives and certainly their wallets in a matter of minutes. What's the best for home buyers in a competitive market?
So this is really a tough question. A lot of people are asking, do I buy now when mortgage rates are so low, but prices are so high? Do I stretch my dollar? Do I go over my budget? Do I tap my retirement savings? And, it really comes down to the buyer. What experts are saying is if you are planning on staying in the home long-term, meaning, 5 years, 10 years, it could even actually be shorter depending on appreciation. It might be worth it to stretch your dollar now and lock in these ultra low rates, because these rates are not expected to stay this low. In fact, there are predictions that rates are going to start moving into the 3.5% range come next year. So that can really add to your bottom line if you wait. And the other thing is that prices are not expected to fall. The appreciation is expected to slow, but that doesn't mean prices are going to get any cheaper. So it comes down to looking at your budget, talking maybe with your financial advisor, and kind of considering where you want to be in the next few years and what your goals are. You have to weigh a lot of different things right now.
And Natalie, I was reading one of your articles with Forbes, and it was talking about the appraisal cost versus what you're willing to pay. And I think buyers need to think of that as well. Yes, you want to get into that home because it's such short inventory, but you also don't want to be underwater just for the sake of getting into a home.
Absolutely. I think that's a really important thing to consider. What we're seeing is that a lot of sellers are just, they're listing their homes for these sort of moonshot prices, or demand is just driving up the prices. So you get into these bidding wars, and, the home price ends up soaring. And when you get that appraisal, it comes well below what the purchase price actually is. And then what happens is you start out underwater, which means you have to wait years for that property to kind of meet the purchase price. So if you want to sell, you might end up spending money on selling that house. So it might not be a great idea to buy above the appraisal price, unless this is like your ultimate dream home. You're not going to sell for, many years and you just want to stay there. Otherwise, it's a really risky move.
All right, Natalie, appreciate the insight as always. Great to see you. And thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.